So I saw One Battle After Another this weekend, and I think it might have gunshots that rival Heat.
Oh, that's a good one.
I agree. Here's why. There's gunshots that are for the love of a father and his daughter. Meanwhile, Heat, those gunshots are just for money and greed. That's all it is.
That's right, baby. And you know what? Justice, though. Some of those bullets are for justice.
Oh, that's true.
And some of them are just for fun. They were just firing those babies off.
Oh, yeah, one battle.
You know,
literally off the rip. They were just kind of shooting up in the air. And you know, both have an argument for who are the... It's hard to split it, but who are the good guys, who are the bad guys?
Did you guys like One Battle After Another?
I loved it. I saw 9s and 10s on Letterboxd, and I'm like, get out of here. I get out of the theater, and I'm like, they were right.
It was pretty incredible. I really liked it. Welcome back to Strictly Casual, everybody. My name is Vincent DeSantis. James is frozen. And today we're talking... No, you're good.
I think he was still. He was just staying still.
I was just breathing.
You're just locked in. As the title of this podcast says, we are talking about Heat today. A much requested viewing for all of us, let alone podcast, whatever it is.
This took a long time for us.
It took too long.
Yeah.
Let me just...
I'm so sorry, guys. The last podcast was a month ago. 3 weeks ago, but when I say a month, it feels like forever. 3 weeks ago feels like not that long.
But if you haven't seen it, we did do a PlayStation State of Play live react.
Oh, we've been doing stuff. We just haven't been podcasting.
Yeah, we have been podcasting. And I was going to initially say...
just plugging.
Yeah, he's just plugging. I was going to say, hey, you're welcome because it's been asked for so much. But if anything, I should be saying thank you. Because thank you for introducing this movie to our lives.
Hey, I'm excited to talk about it. And there's a specific reason I think we're kind of doing this podcast. As we were discussing before this, a lot of times we're talking about these movies, we're talking about these films, and we don't want to just recount the story of the movie. And who's getting anything out of that? People are watching the movie anyway. They're watching the scenes, they're getting the story. But something that I think I struggled with a little bit with this movie, and we'll get into why. What is this movie trying to say? There's a lot of threads here to pull on, and a lot of scenes that have this deep meaning and interesting dialogue. Why did this person say this? Why did this person act like this? And I think it's all leading to something. So I hope that through this podcast, we can talk about kind of the things that aren't as, on the nose about this movie, and kind of dig into what kind of struck us as we go through the big pieces that we loved about this movie.
And I may have an answer, not the answer, but I sure as do heck have an answer for that.
Okay, well, I'm excited to hear that whenever we get there.
Well, Michael Mann's Heat, for those that don't know, follows master thief Neil McCauley, played by Robert De Niro, and relentless LAPD detective Vincent Hanna, played by Al Pacino, in a high-stakes game of cat and mouse across beautiful Los Angeles. As McCauley plans one last big score, Hanna closes in, leading to explosive confrontations, shifting loyalties, and dangerous consequences for everyone caught in the crossfire. Their pursuit builds towards one of cinema's most iconic and tense final showdowns. So let's get into our overall thoughts. James, let's start with you. How'd you feel about this film?
I thought Heat was a overall really great film, very electric. A lot of great performances from De Niro and Al Pacino, namely. But I do think it is heavily reliant on its A plot. I think the B plots don't hold up the rest of the film as much. I think there's just some stuff that I don't care about. I think even as we talk about the film tonight, that I don't think that we're gonna, we might nod or mention some of the B plots, but I don't think they are going to be as central to the lasting impression of this film that the A plot and just the relationship between De Niro and Pacino are.
That is truly what the main piece of this movie is. It is all about De Niro and Pacino. I don't think this movie really works without them. No. You kind of have to have these two titans kind of at each other's throats. Yeah. Ryder, what'd you think?
Yeah, I thought it was incredible. The only thing that I had known about this film beforehand was literally the cover, seeing the cover Heat, hearing about everyone talk about this final showdown. I had heard that this final shootout scene, this ultimate sequence, was what was taught at LAPD for a second. I don't know if that's a rumor, but that kind of...
You're talking about not the final scene, but the bank heist, right?
Oh, the bank heist. Yeah, one of the bank heist scenes. I don't know if it's the final one then, yeah.
It is the final heist.
Is the final heist
sure.
they show
But
that
the final
to-
shootout is between De Niro and Pacino.
Oh yeah, I don't mean
Yeah,
the final
right,
shootout.
right.
My bad. I mean the big citywide shootout.
Yeah, shootout.
Yeah. And that had been maybe not taught but shown to police officers as like an example. Probably not teaching, but that's what kind of I had heard about. So I was like, okay, it's realistic, it's action packed, and of course it's got two of the greats. I mean, I got to see this film. But yeah, after seeing it, my thoughts was, oh man, it's we don't have movies like this because of, I think, the movie star, the movie stars now are, it feels, it just doesn't feel as special as someone like Al Pacino and Robert De Niro, kind of
Sharing the screen for the first time.
Yeah, like sharing the screen, coming up from all these iconic films, working with like Scorsese and Godfather and all this. You put them together, it's like that is a event. I wish I was there.
It's
when
like
the film
when you
came
have
out.
Chris Pratt and Jack Black on screen. at the same
Absolutely,
time.
you took the words right out of my mouth, dude. Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
That's so funny. I didn't even think about that. Is like Godfather Part 2. De Niro and Pacino are in that movie. They're just never sharing the same screen because they're in different time periods.
Oh.
That is wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. This movie, because De Niro plays like a younger Don Corleone, and then Al Pacino plays Don Corleone's son.
Well, I was thinking about all the other movies with Al Pacino and Robert De Niro.
Yeah.
Like, how could they have never been in a movie together by that point is crazy.
Yeah.
And like, who's better at the good guy, bad guy, right? Like, Al's the cop, De Niro's the robber. Who's better?
Who is
at-
the good guy?
What's that?
The good
Who is
guy.
the
The
good
good
guy?
guy is Al Pacino.
I'm gonna say the good guy. Like, before we get into it, is like Al Pacino. But in movies when
You think so?
I think for like
Okay.
from a very like first glance, like
he's trying.
in breaking down the essence of what this film is in a cop versus robber movie, like I would say the assumption, the unchallenged assumption, is that the cop is probably going to be the good guy, the robber is not
Sure.
going to be the bad guy. To which we know after some critical analysis and modern overall socioeconomic themes and context that it is, some case. I'm not going to cast generalization. I don't want to get myself in trouble here, but sometimes it's very much the opposite.
Sure. I have been hearing about this movie for a long time. This is a movie that is recommended to me constantly. I don't know why. I've kind of like my genre. If somebody was to recommend a movie to me, it's usually a crime movie or something like that. I do tend to like those movies quite a bit, and I love these actors. These are like some of my favorites. Even to the point where my fiance's dad says every time I see him, he's like, Vin, have you seen Heat yet? It has the greatest shootout of all time. He's like, you like movies. You haven't seen Heat? It has the greatest shoot. Like, it's like that, okay? And Heat has kind of become this monster to me that I didn't want to watch because I felt like it wouldn't live up to the expectations that I've created in my head for this movie. Not that I knew that I was going to love it, but was I going to love it enough to be like, oh my God, this is a perfect movie? And I think I wanted it to be, oh my God, this is like a perfect movie. And I loved Heat. I really, really liked it, but it wasn't close to the level that I built up in my head about this movie.
Okay.
And this is I feel like this is a constant thing in my life when it comes to recommending things to other people too. Like, I want people to love what I love. And so I'm recommending something like, you guys should totally watch this. It's so good. And I need to like really check myself on that sometimes because like, I want to recommend something, but I don't want to blow something out of the water and they watch it and they're like, that was okay. Or that was fine.
When you overshoot it, you load it up.
But that's
for both.
Them. For both. Okay.
It doesn't let me down.
Yeah.
But I want them to like have a experience about something that they love or something.
But
that
it's a letdown
I
for
love.
you because in your mind you're like, oh, they would love this, and you want that at some level. You want that to be like reciprocated. You want them to come back and be like, holy shit, man! Like you were right. This is awesome.
And this
because I get excited and animated about movies. No, don't say it.
But like, because I know that your opinions on films, if something excites you enough to where you say you need to see this as a 10 out of 10, I feel like who you're telling this to, they're not going to get a bad experience because of knowing who you are. So, like, has that ever happened? Like, have you ever told somebody and they're like, actually, no, I didn't like that? Because come on, usually, oh really? Oh man.
But okay, no, this is good. This is good.
Mm-hmm.
This is something about like my psyche, I guess, is like I never want to give full remarks to something because I want to save that for something that I really truly believe is perfect.
Okay.
Like if it's not perfect to me, why would it deserve that 10 out of 10, 5 out of 5? Like this is why I've rated so little things that number.
Mm-hmm.
And sure, I think I've made it impossible to get in my head, and that's a problem too. And I'm trying to work on that. You know, I'm trying to figure out where everything best lays. Anyways, I loved Heat. I cannot wait to get into some of these scenes. I think it's a gorgeous movie. I think it's brilliantly directed and acted, and it looks incredible. Very little movies look as good as Heat in the way it's shot, in the way it's lit. I think it is a gorgeous movie. Yeah,
that's such an interesting take.
Okay,
I just like didn't. Go ahead, Ryder. I don't want to jump in before you get your. Well,
I wanted to start with like the setting and like kind of the question that we had from the community and like where it's set and how it's shot with Los Angeles. That's where I'm feeling like I want to go start with. Is that cool?
Let's jump in. We have a little bit. We put this out to people today if they wanted to write in or write something about the movie that we can kind of chat about. And one of our community members, Sarah, who's a huge Heat enthusiast, shout out Sarah, asked us a question about LA and this film's setting. Ryder, take it away.
She asked, what are your thoughts on this being set in LA? Could this story have happened in New York in the same way? Why is its setting in LA important to the vibe of the film and story? With two of you being based in LA, how well do you think this movie portrayed the city? Maybe James could talk about why maybe this shouldn't have been done in New York, right? He knows that city. So I think this being shot in LA was the most incredible thing ever. I think a crime thriller, crime drama in Los Angeles is so fitting. It's very old school, very almost comforting for me. And that's mainly because it's shot mostly in the dark. I feel like it's always in the dark and kind of the city's so big. So a lot of crime can happen. And I feel like it's very spread out, and that's why it's so difficult for Al Pacino and his team of cops to catch De Niro and his team because they're everywhere and they have escape routes. And I feel like it's just a vast playground for crime to thrive in a different way than I feel like New York is very intimate and tight and small with, tight spaces. And I feel like the cop and robber story in New York is, I couldn't probably explain the difference between New York and LA, but it's that unexplainable difference of vibe where it's the people, right? The people are different. And maybe ultimately my last point will be probably the goals. A robber in LA probably has different goals than a robber in New York for different reasons. I don't know what that could be, but I feel like the Los Angeles setting was just perfect for this. And especially the time period, what, 90s? The 90s?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
95, I believe.
Let's go next.
Was when it was made.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to start this off by saying, like, Ryder, I think you, and this is a good thing, I'm not saying this is a bad thing, you have a very romantic view of LA.
Yes.
I think,
agreed. Yeah.
like, you love this city and love what this city's about.
Yeah.
I don't know if I feel the same way about LA. Like, I like LA and a lot of things that happen in LA, but I don't have a romantic view of this city. That being said, I think this movie does an incredible job of romanticizing it in a way that even by living in the greater Los Angeles area, I'm like, wow, like I live here. Like this is beautiful. The way that the skylines are shot and the cities are kind of shot in this movie, even as far as Neil's kind of apartment that overlooks the sea in Santa Monica. It does have that vibe, that premium. It's like a premium type of vibe that comes with this in LA. I don't know, James, living in New York, how does this kind of differ, I guess?
So I think Ryder really hit a nail on the head with like talking about the vastness and the playgroundness of LA, like, and talking about New York, you don't have a lot of space, right? Like I'm thinking about like, honestly, if we're comparing heist, the first one I think of is the Batman Dark Knight bank heist versus this, which is like everything is out in the open, right? Like you do something, then you're running. Whereas like I feel like in New York, those heists have to be like very calculated, and it's the minute details, and it's the like going through tunnels, and it's how can we use these like service train networks to get, which honestly would be like, it is just very cool in its own right. But I think
it's funny you say that.
The particular piece of why I think this works in LA is because I think LA at this time is very much like a Wild West, whereas like you have like a lot of these young industries going on in LA, like the entertainment industry in LA is like established, but it's still young, like it's still growing and maturing, whereas like New York is like old money. New York is like the corporate heads, and like it's white collar crime, and it's like screwing over people at the top, and it's like making handshakes with your fingers crossed behind your back. You know what I mean? It's very like, you know, that it's like drama in the boardroom and that sort of thing. But in LA, it's like, oh, like anything can happen. And then it's like you get the money, but then you leave. I think the leaving part is big for me. I think when I think of like crime set in New York, it typically isn't for the purpose of getting out of the city. I think of like crime in New York to build your reputation in the city, to sort of like climb a sort of ladder in a sort of way to get to a certain like crime boss of New York City. There's so much more. Like mob movies are about establishing like your presence and your dominance in this world.
This is good. You're kind of also saying that means that LA, when it comes to crime in movies and whatnot, it is a place along the journey and not the destination. Whereas New York,
I think so,
is usually the destination, and you're just there living in it. That is really interesting. I haven't thought about that.
I think this is like, again, someone could bring up an example and be like, oh, but what about that?
Sure.
I could be totally wrong.
I'm sure there's a million examples.
This is just what's
generally.
Taking what is off the top of my head. That's what I think. People are like, oh, like we're gonna get the money and we're gonna like go out to
Hawaii,
you know,
Cancun,
the Bahamas.
we're leaving.
Exactly, going somewhere tropical, right? Whereas, and I think it's because I was gonna say for a second, like, oh, because LA has nice weather, and so it's people, you know, go to other places with nice weather. Whereas like New York, you it's cold. You get the cold winters, and like as much as you want, people like. You're like, oh, wouldn't you want to like leave that to go somewhere like nicer? I think there's also like they care too much for that grit to want to have that sort of escapist feeling.
It's like what's the term where you're living somewhere where it's cold, and then, or when it's cold you go live somewhere where it's warmer. It's very East Coast.
Yeah. It's something type of snowbirds or something like that.
Yeah, snowbird, something like that. Yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah. Well, that's a great question from Sarah. I think that sparked a really cool combo. Thank you.
Thanks, Sarah.
Okay, well, I wanted to talk about kind of my overall thought on what this film is about. I kind of wanted to get that out of the way because it's kind of character driven, and then I feel like we can dive into characters from that conversation that sparks that. So the main thing,
absolutely,
an answer that I have to what I think this film is about is that it was watching the whole time on dedication of Al Pacino's character and Robert De Niro. Like it was an examination of the dedication to men and their sides of the law. So I was fascinated watching how hell-bent they are on staying on their sides of the law. You know, watching Al Pacino was so dead set, you know, and it's kind of like how men are hardwired. It's fascinating that Al Pacino was so with the law, and he's a cop, and he'll stop at nothing to stop crime, put this guy away, put him in jail, and just stick with the law. Meanwhile, Robert De Niro, it's so addictive to watch someone break the law, because, you know, like most people in society don't do this, but this guy is so hell-bent, like there's no other alternative. He for him, it is survival. It is, I need to rob a bank. I need to get this money. There's no other way. He could have gotten a job. He could have been a normal part of society, but yet both these guys are so on one side of it. And I didn't really think, I guess saying it now, I don't know if I had anything to say, but I think it was more of a magnifying glass on both sides.
Let me bring up a point to that that might either
maybe
help your thing here. Do you guys remember the character who's a very smaller character who was previously ran with Neil's crew? And he is getting a job at a hamburger joint, basically.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And he's served some time now, and he's trying to get back on his feet. And he has a girlfriend that's helping him out, trying to help him get this job. Like, very proud of him for kind of turning his life around, basically. But he obviously hates this burger flipping thing, and he's very distracted by outside world. And eventually Neil, who is De Niro's character, runs into him, and they're like, hey, we need a driver like right now. Like, if you leave your job right now, we need a driver. And he does not have to even consider it. He's fed up with work and stuff. But regardless of the other things, I think he has the same level of obsession that Neil has, or the same level of obsession that Vincent has, in the sense that their being is tied to this thing that they love, and they won't do anything else but that. It's kind of like what this movie's all about. He's like just a mini character, and he has very little decisions, but it's so clear he's on the same wavelength as our two characters that we spend a lot of time with.
I'm gonna nail down this point.
Please do.
I think this sort of symbolizes a central conflict between law and order, or sorry, not law and order, like lawful and chaotic. And I think every character in this film exists on a spectrum of lawful and chaotic. And I think on one end of the spectrum, you have, I don't know, maybe like the sergeant who gets killed at the end. Maybe he's like the most lawful in the film. You remember the guy with the mustache?
Yeah.
Perhaps. Or I'd probably just by default say Al Pacino, and then Robert De Niro's on the other side. But you have your extremes of that too. And I think of Waingro being on the far extreme of chaos, because he is so consumed by lifestyle and is like mentally ill and is like
he's got a lot going on.
Evil dude.
He has a lot going on. He's like psychotic, right? And Robert De Niro and everyone else, they need this lifestyle that's just how they've decided to buy it, and this is what's worth it for them. But even they have their own sense of order or inner law that dictates their decisions and how they operate. They have their own boundaries.
That brings me to definitely my favorite scene in this movie. I think this is a good segue to the diner scene, or the dinner scene, or whatever, between Neil and Vincent. It's their first time meeting one another face to face. Now, to set the stage, Neil is driving away from doing something. He's a little scared of whatever's happening, but he's driving down the freeway. And Vincent is with the LAPD in helicopters watching his car on the freeway. So he takes a helicopter, a couple freeway exits in front of where Neil is headed, hops in a car so that when Neil's driving, Vincent can go up behind him in a car and pull him over. That was hilarious to me. I loved that setup.
Doing it was the most.
Exactly. It was doing the most, but for this character, it was totally in character.
Yeah.
He did absolutely nothing out
That's
of character.
That's just who he is. He does the most.
Yes. Which kind of goes into this scene too. But Vincent pulls Neil over. Neil's has a gun ready to go, basically. Because he knows he's getting pulled over. He's like, this is not good. And Vincent invites him to dinner, basically. Invites him for some coffee. And this is not the way that I was expecting this to go, honestly. I was not expecting it at all.
Right.
So the next scene, it literally cuts to them having dinner. And it is a conversation of the two of them of why they are so hell-bent on their missions. It goes to Vincent saying there is nothing that you can do to stop me from getting you. And Neil saying there's nothing that you can do to stop me. But the most interesting part of this conversation is when Vincent confesses that he has a reoccurring dream. And I think there's a lot of themes of this movie that are at play in this dream that he tells Neil about. And he says, let me try to find this real quick. Basically, Vincent is sitting around in his dream, sitting around a table with a bunch of murder victims that he has investigated. And they all have eight ball hemorrhages. That's what he says, which is basically, it's like such a major head wound that you're like, your eyes are blood, like eyes.
Your eyes bleed, your ears bleed, your
right.
nose bleeds.
And they don't say anything to him. They just stare at him. And there's not much explanation given here because Neil butts in with his own reoccurring dream. Neil's reoccurring dream is that he's drowning and he has to wake himself up or else he'll die in his sleep. Okay, he's like, that's his reoccurring dream. And then Vincent hops in and he's like, well, you know what that's about, right? Like Vincent knows what's up. He's like, you know what your dream's about. He's like, it just means you don't have enough time. And Neil's like, no, it's not about time. It's about getting done everything I want to get done. That was like, he's like, so I guess it is running out of time, but Neil kind of puts his own spin on it just so he can't give Vincent the satisfaction of telling him what his dream means. Yeah, but I think there is a bit of an agreement there that Neil doesn't feel like he has enough time to do what he wants to do. What do you guys think about these dreams? I know I just yapped a little bit about them.
Well, I like the dreams, but I like the part where they were saying that in another life they would have been friends, right? Didn't they say that? Like, I think they were almost admiring each other's, they had respect for each other's dedication to their work. And that's what's crazy about, criminals and law enforcement. Like, they're exactly the same, and they use force, they are dedicated to their craft, and they're, let's just say kind of, in the context, normal guys that would be friends, but the way they go about their choices, the way they need to get what they need to do is just separated by a little flick, something in their heads that's like, I need to do it this way, right? And maybe that's to say, like we talked about the guy, maybe the system's not set up properly for criminals to kind of get out of it. I don't know, in that world.
True.
That's a big part of it. We saw that guy at the burger joint, how horrible he was to him. He's saying, hey, you're going to get no money. He tried to get a job because he had a girlfriend, right? That was telling him, this is a character, sorry if I'm being confusing. What was the character's name? Or
I'll find out what you're talking.
You explain the character. It was a character that was recently out of prison and he got a job at a burger joint, but the boss, the manager, was being so cruel to him, saying that you're going to
give him his break.
Yeah, you wouldn't give you breaks. You're going to get no money. You're going to work for me. And if you don't like it, I instantly tell your parole officer and you're done. So yeah, the cards were thrown against him, and which, enforced why his decision to kind of go back to being a criminal again. But
his name was Drucker, by the way.
Drucker.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's fascinating to see, again, like the two sides of the coin of men dedicated to their craft, yet one's like a part of nature, one's the objective, like the weirdly objective right way to go about things, versus the other way is like, why is it that people have that choice to do that? What is so addictive of that, breaking the law and putting other people at
Well, I
risk?
think he realizes, like, they have to do the risk if they want to, like, get any sort of wealth. I think Drucker is in a position where he's like, man, like, this job fucking sucks and I'm not going anywhere. Whereas, like, I think he sees opportunity in the heist to, like, he could die, but I think a part of him's like, I either live the way that I am right now, or I, like, gamble essentially on getting out and and having a life for myself or dying trying.
Which was a pretty easy gamble for him. Like, he didn't. Easy choice to make that gamble. Excuse me.
Yeah.
I
want to go back to the dream that Vincent's talking about, and this is what I see. I see Vincent's dream as he's observing in this dream. He's seen all these victims that he's investigated, and I think he doesn't voice what his feelings about it are, but I think because they are victims, they're victims, I think it's regret of something he didn't do or couldn't prevent. And so the reason why Vincent is obsessive is because I think he lives in fear of what will happen if he doesn't catch the murderers at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And then Neil's dream, I think, is just he's drowning and he must wake himself up. I think he's running. He's like escaping something. He has to like do something. He's frantic. He like finds himself in a position where he needs to take action or else he's gonna die, or else he's gonna fall into a pit, and he needs to make action and drastic action to save himself.
Right.
But the question is, what is he saving himself from? Which is a hard question for me to answer off the bat, because someone could say he's using crime as a thing to save himself from intimacy and intimate relationships with his view. In the same conversation he shares with Al Pacino, right? We have these two men at different sides of relationship spectrums. De Niro, Neil, doesn't really believe, like, he's like, yeah, like I can't sustain a marriage and this lifestyle. And I think he's sort of, I think that's a notch on his belt. I think he wears that because I think he doesn't, I think he's scared of maintaining a relationship for a long period of time, at least, and still being able to do what he wants to do. Whereas Al Pacino is on the other side of being in a married relationship that goes awry, and he has to deal with that.
Well, he's kind of given up
as well.
He's it's not a priority for him in the same way. I think that's the big piece, is like, for both of these guys, De Niro and Pacino, their relationships outside is not a priority. The priority is bringing bad guys to justice and, stealing money for the rush or whatever that looks like. And maybe it was a priority for Vincent, and it's never been a priority for Neil. I think that's like a big difference of it too.
What I love about this film is that it does a great job at showing the dichotomy of them two by like showing one sequence with Neil and then showing probably the same side to Vincent, right? And a great example of that is the dinner scene. There's a dinner scene with I don't know, I guess it was Neil and his crew first, right? It was all of his crew members, and they all had like girlfriends and stuff, and they were all having a dinner, chatting it up, having a good time. And then later on, we see Vincent and his crew with the police officers and the other people on his team having another dinner as well, kind of doing the exact same thing. And I don't know, I thought that was fast. Like, oh, this is, probably on purpose to show, look, these guys are, again, hammering it down. They're both living kind of the same lives. They're both going about life the same way. It's just they're getting there at different ways, right? And I don't know, I thought that was good. That was fascinating.
No, this is good. I think that this is kind of where Val Kilmer's character comes into play a little bit. What would you guys say? Val Kilmer's character is Chris in this movie. What would you guys say Chris's priority was in this movie?
Oh, it's his love, Charlene. Every time it comes down to, I'm not going anywhere without Charlene.
That's right.
Like she's my priority. She's my everything.
But Charlene's pissed at him this whole movie, basically.
Yeah.
Besides the end, because
of his lifestyle, right?
Because of his lifestyle. Yeah, he's kind of torn between both of these. But to his boys, to his crew, he's a problem because of the girl.
Yeah,
And I think that is also an interesting dynamic when you have these two main guys, De Niro and Pacino, who don't care about their girls until we have a bit of with this girl named Edie, who is the love interest for Robert De Niro. And I think Robert De Niro finds it's not just a interest of like, it's just another girl. Like, you can tell it's more than that, but we don't get a lot of them besides the betrayal that Edie feels when she finds out that De Niro is a criminal, basically.
Yeah.
And then the choice that De Niro has to make throughout the movie of, he has plenty of opportunities to just leave with Edie, but he can't. He really can't
Got to
do
go
that.
take care of something. He's always
And he leaves
gotta
Edie
go,
every time. They had the opportunity to leave together. For some reason, Edie wanted to go with him. I was like, why would you want to go with him? I don't really understand. You don't even known him that long. He's much older than you. Like, I don't know. There's just a
Age
lot
gap
of
was
pieces
wild.
there. Something.
Yeah, there
Right,
was a
you
lot
said
of
that on the
greed
tip of your tongue.
from Neil, like both monetarily and for his revenge. His lust for revenge kept consuming him.
Yeah.
My favorite scene of the whole film was the ending, him trying to get back revenge of this one guy who he wanted revenge on him because he had betrayed the team, right? Not because he had killed anybody in particular. I know that
No,
he was on
Wingo, in the opening heist scene, when they're stealing the
Oh, that's right.
bank
He messed
truck
up
or
the
whatever,
plan.
he murders the guards there, and they weren't
Murders
really
the guards,
supposed to
yeah.
kill anybody. But he just goes for it. He just kills him and then sends him on a spiral. And then when De Niro tries to talk to Wingo, and being like, dude, you can't do
Waingro.
this. Waingro, thank you. Because Waingro goes and murders other people too. He's a
He
That's
like
right.
murders prostitutes.
crazy ass
Like he.
white supremacist type of guy.
And also, he
And-
teams up with the corporate guy. I forget how deep this film is.
Yes.
There's so many characters. He
Van
really does
Zandt.
betray him
Van
because
Zandt,
he
yeah.
goes. Yeah, is it Van Sant? His name Van
Van
Yeah.
Zandt.
Van
yeah.
Zandt. Yeah, he goes.
Well,
He
I
He's
teams
like
think
the
with him,
money launderer.
and he says,
The-
"Hey,
the-
I know who you're looking for."
The big issue is after Waingro kills that girl,
Yeah.
and it makes Pacino find things that kind of connect him to this group. And it's very obvious that this guy's a weak link. And by doing all these extracurricular activities, is causing unnecessary attention to this crew. And so De Niro is going to kill him, basically. And he escapes that. And then it's like, obviously, they're not part of the same crew anymore after that.
Yeah, my favorite scene in the whole film that I want to get out is his lust for revenge, him trying to get back at Waingro, and that whole ending sequence where he's leaving with Edie, which is also another question that we have from Sarah. Should he have left with Edie, or should he have gone back for Waingro? Which I'll say my thoughts. I think, of course, he should have left with Edie. I think he should have got out.
I'm sorry. I need to put the brekes just for a second.
Yeah, what's up?
Because we started talking about Chris. I need to say one thing because
let's go back to
in talking about Chris
Mhm.
and talking about between De Niro and Pacino's characters, at the end of the day, although he has his commitment to his wife, and although other people have thoughts about that, he's ultimately the one who makes out alive at the end of the day.
Chris
Yeah,
does.
I just realized that.
Chris
I
does,
mean,
but not without
not
Charlene. I mean, like they're both alive, but they're separated at the end.
he was the
I
only
mean,
one that
Vincent
got
makes it out alive, too.
Huh?
Oh yeah.
Vincent makes it out.
Oh, duh. Yeah.
But
Of the
But-
criminals, right? Like
No,
everyone was getting
criminals.
got. Danny Trejo
Yeah,
was
all the
getting
criminals.
taken.
Yep. Everyone
Everyone.
dies on the criminal side, I think,
yeah.
besides Chris.
Ryder, what were you saying?
Sorry, writer. I
No,
just
you're good.
like
Which
I
is
knew
wild
that,
that Chris made it out, even though he was all shot up, and then that random doctor, De Niro, got him a doctor, helped him out.
Yeah,
and he survived. Which is, I mean, yeah, he didn't seem like he would make it out, but
We haven't talked about the big scene yet, but we'll get there later.
oh yeah, the big
Okay.
thing.
Sorry,
yeah,
Ryder.
no, you're good. You're good.
yeah.
My favorite scene that has to be De Niro and his lust for revenge, leaving Edie behind, because they were right there. They were so close. Of course, the clock's ticking. All of the LAPD is hunting down these guys, and a lot of variables are at play here where they're slowly, it's a cat and mouse game, literally at the end, where they're close on Rob De Niro's heels. He's literally about
It's
to
great.
get caught.
It's so good.
It's incredible because he has a plane waiting for him. He has his crew, and he has something ready to go where he can get out free with this girl. He can get out. He's right there, and he can leave. And we see little moments where he's at a different house, and Al Pacino's behind, and he's getting pissed off, and you're like, wow, is he gonna find him or not?
Yeah.
And right before they get to the last moment, De Niro decides, wait, I'm gonna get Waingro because I know where his location is. Edie,
Yeah,
I
he's
just
on the
gotta
way.
get done. I gotta do one last thing, and of course, it's a very long, beautiful sequence where he's getting in the hotel, putting on disguise. I thought it was beautiful because it's like, oh man, this is so beautifully done.
I totally agree.
man.
For some reason, walking through like the back entrance of the hotel and just like walking around was awesome.
Yeah,
like that was the
incredible.
highlight of this the whole sequence. And he makes the phone call to the front desk. He's like, hey, this is housekeeping. Like, we were supposed to bring some clothes up to this gentleman. Can you let me know, remind me his room number? I forgot it over the phone. And the front desk was like, oh, his room number's blah, 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 blah. He's like, thanks. And then hangs up and he goes immediately to the room. It was so smooth. I don't know. It was great.
You feel uneasy because you're like, this isn't going to go well. You kind of feel, you're like, dude, this isn't going to go well for you. I can't believe you're so far into this. It was just like, oh, it was giving me the ick. I was feeling crazy. So yeah, he gets his revenge, and then by the time he comes back, his time's up because Al Pacino has caught up to him. And there's a moment where I don't think Al Pacino saw him per se, but he knows he's there. And De Niro just looks at Edie, and before he could go back to Edie, in a moment of love, he leaves her to save her life. To save her from
is that what you think?
I think he's
interesting.
Yeah, okay. I think he's leaving her because if he were to go to the car and escape, immediately she's accomplice. I know that he's like, I'm not gonna include you. I'm not gonna put you in this. Al Pacino's right there. I'm looking at you, Edie. I'm out. I'm leaving. I'm running away. I'm sorry. Like it's the most. It's like heartbreaking, but I'm also. Like, I'm not going to, it's like, oh, I'm
it's romantic.
With the criminal. It's romantic. I'm like, damn, this is so sad. He had to leave her behind. And of course she's confused, but I think he was saving her. I think he was like, I'm not going to do this to you.
Whoa. I agree with you to an extent. I think that, yes, he did spare her by leaving, but in no way did I think that he put her above his confrontation with Vincent. Like, I didn't think I think it's good that he left her. It was never a question that he was going back with her. Like once he got to the car, it's like he didn't make a decision to like save her. It was just like, I'm so sorry. Like I need to go. Yep. And I think reading between the lines, sure. Yeah. He did save her from a world of trouble by not hopping into that car. Absolutely. But nothing was going to stop him from like getting away from Vincent.
Yeah.
Or confronting Vincent.
Yeah. Good seeing y'all.
Which brings us to the plains. I think it's LAX. They don't call it LAX, but I would assume it's LAX. A lot of this happens in like Santa Monica.
It's not Burbank
and stuff like that. No, it's not Burbank. That's for sure. And it's a very long sequence of this cat and mouse thing where Neil's running and Vincent's after him. And how close is they're gonna get? Yeah, exactly.
They're running.
And it's very hot. I know it's nighttime, but it feels sweaty. It feels gross. Hot, I'm like, oh my God, they're just really running. They're going so far. They're doing this.
They don't stop running.
No, they just keep going. And they're on the airfield and they're getting close. And it's all these little electrical huts. I don't know what to call them. What would you call these things?
Just like,
I don't know. Things on the runway. I don't know what you call
electrical boxes.
But what really stood out to me here is, okay, it's not like they're going to outshine this incredible shootout set piece that they've already had in this movie. So they need to find a new way to have some sort of tension. They've exhausted that, I think. The guns, they don't need that. So they create this atmosphere where the planes come down and the volume gets so loud. It is such a loud scene. And the plane comes in and it's like super tense. And then no sound. Like absolutely silent. And then as Vincent's eyes pan up to try to find Neil, a plane starts screaming in. And it's not like a riser, like a sound effect that goes like, it's like a plane's coming in. It feels real.
Yeah.
And like the way that they time that scene to like where each character's checking their angles and making sure someone's not around the corner with the planes coming in is so... It's like a dance. It's just choreographed.
Because you're yelling at them, they're like, "Oh my God, look behind you!" And he checks behind you, behind himself, and then he goes back.
Man, that was really good.
Same thing in the shootout scene.
Yeah.
Not to. I'm gonna say this, and we could go back to it. But like Chris specifically, and watching them move through the cars and everything, it's so calculated, and you literally like you see them like
you're tracking them.
They're tracking every single person, making sure there's no one behind them, making sure like that there's not a blind spot. Anyway, back to Vincent and Neil.
Well, I just love that scene. Yeah, go for it, Ryder.
Well, oh man, I went blank on what I was gonna say. Oh, this one was sorry. No. Yeah. Watching this sequence at the end, this is something that I was like, oh man, this feels like again the ending of great cinema because like. I just feel like, tell me if you agree or not, or whatever, that I don't feel like movies nowadays, they don't have this sense of pacing where they just let it sit. They just let movies sit in sequences, in breath of tension. I feel like tension nowadays is so sped up because of run times or I don't know, attention span. I don't know, whatever it is. I'm not going to say, I'm just suggesting. Yeah. But like this, it goes on for so long, and I don't want to say too long, but it's like, yes, it needs to be this long because this is what would really happen. They're both. I bet that they're both so afraid out of their minds. They're like, what's going to happen? But they're still calculating. De Niro's looking at the planes, the light of the planes, to maybe be like, that's my move. I'm going to make a move when the blinding light comes, right?
The whole movie builds them up as equals. There's nobody here that I'm watching this and I really don't know what's going to happen because the movie hasn't told me this person's better than the other person. They're both, they're both messed up in their own ways. They've, it's not like we have a scene at the shooting range where Vincent's nailing all of his shots, or like some sort of idea that we have that one is more dangerous than the other person. They're both dangerous. And because of that even playing field here, they're in an area even that they both haven't been in before. Like, it's just set up so well to where you don't know the outcome.
Did either of you think they would die? Like, did either of you think?
I thought Neil was gonna kill Pacino because it seems like he had the whole thing calculated to where, all right, which speaking of, I like I think the darkness and the light also adds to the tension.
Oh yeah.
When you have these like, you have the lights when the planes go up and it just fucking floods
so good
the scene with light, and then it goes dark again. But I thought he had it where he's like, okay, I'm going to sit here, and then when the lights fly up, it's going to blind him, or I can see him better than he's going to be able to see me, and because I'll be backlit and I'll just pop him right there. But it doesn't happen, and it goes the other way, and I was so fucking surprised. I was
really?
Like, oh my god, I can't believe it. Yeah.
That's good movie making right there.
Well, I think there's a aspect of this is like, I think because at the end of the day it's a cop movie, I feel like in 70 to 80% of movies in this structure, like, the law always wins.
Yeah.
Do you think this? Do you kind of think of this as a cop movie?
Yeah.
It's interesting.
How else would you categorize? Like, what are some other ideas popping in your head?
No, I feel like a lot of crime movies have some sort of focus on, cops or the authorities are usually the antagonists in crime-focused movies.
Oh yeah, because you're with the mob, you're with the gangster,
movies.
You're watching. The
it's like they're sympathetic. Yeah. Which I think.
But this movie, I don't. It is a cop movie, sure. Yeah, I just think it's equally. Yeah. I don't know. It was never clear to me that Vincent was going to win.
Here's the thing. I think it goes back to a little bit. Like, I think this movie does a good job of building sympathy for Al Pacino and De Niro.
Yeah, I would agree.
And in a way that, like, there is no one that is clearly like the good guy or the bad guy over the other. They both are very human and both have their own problems.
I think they both have their own problems. And the movie makes it very clear that they're not doing anything to solve those problems, or they're ignoring those problems. And that's why it was hard for me to be sympathetic, I guess, on either of the characters. It's like they're not really putting their best foot forward in any of the things that are causing them issues here. So that's why it really doesn't feel like either one of them is. I guess you're rooting for. I was kind of rooting for Neil at the end, I guess. But here's why. I'm going to tell you a problem I have with this movie right now. And I want you guys to tell me it's not a problem, because like I've been thinking about this a lot. And it's Vincent's daughter situation. Vincent has a stepdaughter. And
don't get me fucking started on this.
Well, I just want to talk about it because I got to know. I got to know what you guys think. Okay. I've been struggling with what this is all about. Before the final confrontation, we know that Vincent and her daughter don't have a great relationship. We know it's a little tight. It's a stepdaughter situation. We don't really know what their history was, but they're not on good terms right now. A lot of spats throughout the movie. He goes into a hotel room, I think, or back at home. Hotel room.
Yeah.
And he finds her in the bathtub, and she's done some self-harm to herself, and she's completely unconscious. And he like breaks down. It's kind of the first time you see this like human side of him and not his robot side, because he's a robot with his wife. He's a robot with everything else going on. Vincent has a one-track mind. This is the first time you see him kind of break, and they introduce it immediately before the final sequence. He runs her to the hospital. Him and his wife are kind of like, yeah, we're not on good terms, but like obviously we're banding together to like, help our daughter out. And he leaves the hospital to go find Vincent, which I get you have, like, that's the movie. His
character.
That's his character. But like, was that scene to try to make us more sympathetic towards him before the ending? That really, that did not vibe with me.
I think it's kind of like with De Niro leaving Edie for Waingro. It's the same thing. It's the both it's sequence and then sequence. Like I see them as both. They're both addicted to it. That they're leaving their best things in their lives. Right? They're leaving the women in their lives. And but also one other thing is that I really did feel like what did they show? Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. I thought he had a better relationship with the daughter, because she was always like he picked her up on the side of the street, and she was always like I'd rather stay with you. Like I don't like my real dad. My dad's let me down. Like I feel like
I had to look this up because I like lost it a little bit, and so I looked up like if it makes sense, and people on Reddit were like no like because Al Pacino was like, hey, like if you ever need someone to stay, like let me know. Like I think she viewed that she like went to the hotel room as like a sort of safe space, like away from the mom.
Also, a crazy thing that my mind was like, oh my God, if they do this, my mind will be blown. For a second there, I was like, oh, what if the dad is Robert De Niro? I don't know why I was thinking like, wouldn't it be nuts?
That would be insane.
That would be insane because he was like, my dad didn't come and visit me. And I was like, yeah, because he just did some crime.
That would be
De Niro.
so
that would
funny. That would destroy the movie.
Insane. Really? Come on.
Totally.
Hey, you guys in the comments, let me know.
Off the rails.
If De Niro was the dad, wouldn't that be insane?
That is the funniest thing you've ever said.
You're the dad to my stepdaughter. Yeah, I mean that'd be nuts.
That's like one of those reveals that happens that someone in the back of the theater lets out a massive sigh. Like one of those type of reveals.
Like, oh my God.
I was waiting for De Niro to tell his guys.
Me.
He's like, hey, I got to get this thing done. I got my kid at home, and I was gonna be like, my kid? What?
No, oh my God.
No, I'm just kidding. But there's no connection whatsoever. But yeah, I think the reason why they showed that scene was to show like, look, he needs to be a dad here. There's obviously a calling to him to leave behind his addiction, and he's still going. He's still going out. He's hooked.
That's a much better way to put it. I think I really latched on to are they trying to make us really care about him right now? And I think I really latched onto that in the wrong way. Whereas I wasn't viewing that in the bigger picture of the film, which, Ryder, I think you're right. It's showing them leave things that are important to them. Yeah. And I say that in quotes because how important really is Edie to Robert
how
De Niro?
important?
I don't know, but
he did. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to think so. In my head, because he was like, let's get out of here. Like, he really wanted to leave with her. He could have left her behind, right? Like, he could have just
could have done it. He could have done it.
But then he did leave her behind.
Could have, should have, would have.
I'd like to believe he could have left her behind.
Should have, would have.
Because wasn't De Niro the type to not make mistakes, to leave behind a job when there was any bit? He was flawless, right?
Yes.
So when the heat was peak, he made a choice that probably wasn't a smart one to bring Edie with him. Like, he didn't have to do that, but he did.
That's true.
So then for him to then leave her behind, I don't think it was a decision of, all right, crime, I want my competition. I think it was just saving her. I really am standing by that, okay?
I like it. Put your foot down on that.
Yeah. But anyways, I don't know. It's more of me realizing as I'm explaining it. I'm like,
yeah.
The movie that keeps on giving, you know?
I want to talk about a couple more scenes before we kind of go into our, big overall theme kind of talks about what we've spoken about here. There's a quick scene I want to talk about, and it's kind of the failed heist that happens. This is, I believe, before the big shootout. Yeah, much before the big shootout.
This is before the big shootout.
Waingro has already been, doing the Waingro stuff and has led Al Pacino to be closely monitoring Neil and Chris. And Neil and Chris are on a little duo mission to steal something. They got this big drill going, and Chris is inside with this drill.
Non-duo. It's a trio. with it's a
Who else is there?
it's actually a 4-man team.
Oh, because he's on
you
the
got
telephone
Trejo as
pole.
the driver, and you got the dude on the telephone pole.
Oh, thank you.
And
Thank
you got Chris and Neil.
Neil's kind of playing the lookout position though right now.
Yeah.
He's out front, just making
Dude, he
sure
sinks into
everything
that-
is all good.
into that
But
shadow.
This is the best part. This is the part that I love. Chris is inside with the drill, and Al Pacino is in a nearby parking lot in a van. Okay,
Yeah.
full of gear, the typical,
The whole
cop car
SWAT team's
with
in there.
the
Yeah.
cameras. Yeah.
But the setup is so good.
Oh, the setup is
The
it's awesome.
The set is so good. It's like dead quiet. You can hear a pin drop.
Yes.
But like you get these scenes, these shots of like the SWAT teams just like fully in position. Like
Yes.
you know they're ready. You get the truck full of like 9 dudes, and it's like 2 sides of like an opaque wall where like, they're totally geared up. They know what's going on, and they are in the ice. They're in the cave. They don't know what's going on. They're just like in the dark.
But
They're
what
doing
happens
their
is
own
so
thing.
stupid. It's not even like, not movie wise, but character wise.
But to get there,
Sorry.
like, also Pacino has the finger on the trigger. Like, he is in full charge of this scene. Like, Neil and Chris and the other 2 guys, they could be done for here.
Yeah.
Yep.
And some stupid idiot trips in the van, slams his back, and Neil goes. Neil, his eyes dart, and he looks, and he knows, and it cuts to this back and forth shot of Al Pacino looking straight past the camera, and then Neil looking straight past the camera as if they're looking
And
right
it's on
into
the
each
heat
other's
monitor.
eyes.
Yeah.
And it's on the
Yes.
heat monitor. You can see
like
you
they're
can see the
looking at each
silhouette
other.
of his face of like
Yes.
just like under his eyes. And it's just it's almost like he's looking at him through the monitor.
Movies,
Hey,
man.
it's like that scene from Lilo and Stitch. Have you guys seen it where Pleakley and Jumbo are like, "Can he hear us?" And then instantly he turns and it shows him on a heat monitor because you can hear him.
Just like
Play the
Lilo
clip.
and
Roll the
Stitch.
clip. Roll the
Just
clip.
like
And trust.
And then, as they're looking at each other, Neil takes one big step backwards from the light into the shadows and
Yes.
completely disappears. And it's the coolest shot to me. I think it's my favorite shot in the whole movie.
I think that's wrong. He notices that from within the shadows. They do the stare down while he is in the dark,
Sorry.
and then he steps out.
Okay. I like the shot where he steps in the shadows and then it's
shot.
this back and forth. Because then
And-
you're right.
yeah.
He knows that he's found out and he has to run in and tell Chris and they got to get the hell
Yes.
out of there. And they do not complete this mission because
No. And the one guy's like, "We could go in there." And he's like, "What the fuck are we gonna get him for? They haven't done anything
Yeah,
yet. Breaking
there's no
and
evidence.
entering."
yeah.
And get out in
Which is
6
so
months.
good.
What do you think? Speaking of, okay, what the hell was up with Al Pacino doing these random ass screams?
He was electric.
I
He
know.
was electric.
It
He
was
was so
I'm not
good.
saying it was bad. I'm just saying what the heck was going on because
Who-
it's,
he
what
said-
was he saying? What was he saying?
owl?
What was some of the
What are you,
things?
an owl?
What are you an owl? What is happening there? Who? He kept doing
He
that.
said, "Because she had a great ass."
Yes, that was so good. Oh man, that seems like damn. No one else could have done this role. No one else.
No.
No one
I
else.
don't, for either of them, I don't think, it just wouldn't have the same effect.
Was he drunk in the club when he was trying to get intel from one of those guys? He was trying to get intel from somebody. He's like, "I need a name."
No,
Give
he
me
was
a name.
straight. He was straight as
Yeah?
an arrow. He was like, that guy he was locked on.
Straight as an arrow. I thought he was like, he seemed out of it, dude. I don't know, but maybe he was pretending to.
Yeah, maybe.
You guys have to watch King of Comedy. Like,
I
you have
know.
to see De Niro in a role
Yeah.
where because De Niro is kind of like the same guy
Yeah.
in
Sure.
every one of these movies, he's great. He's great at playing himself, and we love to see
You're
it.
right. You're
But,
right,
like,
though. Yeah.
King of Comedy, like, you're like, whoa, I didn't think
Very
that De
different.
Niro could do this.
I need to see it. It's been on my list
It's
for a
very
long
good.
time.
Maybe it'll be the next pod. Who knows?
I do have to tell you that halfway through, I paused this movie and I forgot I had to do something. And Allie looks at me. She's like, "Which one's De Niro?" I was like, "What?" She's like, "Is Pacino the one that?" I was like,
Wait,
"Are you
know
being
what's so
serious
funny?
with me right
Is
now? Like, really?"
Regine also did not recognize Robert De Niro.
Yeah.
She goes, "That's not Robert De Niro." And I go, yeah, it is. And she goes, and I think it's like his facial hair or something.
It's
but
his
like,
facial
goatee, his
hair.
weird
Yeah,
ass
the goatee.
he
goatee.
has his goatee. It really threw her off.
Unrecognizable, right?
But even that,
And it kind
she's
of
like,
threw me off too. I was like, I know this is Robert De Niro, but like, it doesn't really look like him.
it's so funny. I don't know. You could just see
Wait,
this
what
guy,
else?
but then also like, I love Robert De Niro, but obviously not everybody does. And like, Allie's not a big Robert De Niro guy or anything, so I get it. I totally get it. It's hilarious. I thought it was very funny.
I see here you have a criticism. Is it from your alley or for someone else?
No, it is from my alley. At the very end, she was like, I think Point Break just did that movie better. And I was like, what
I've
do you
never seen
mean
Point Break. I
Point
can't
Break
say it.
did that movie better?
Here's the thing.
No!
Point Break is awesome.
Oh my
but-
God. We had just seen it. I won't go too much on intent.
did
We
just
had
watch
just seen Point Break, not even a couple weeks before I watched Heat. And I was like, oh my God, did these movies come out kind of same year? Because what an insane, wasn't it kind of the same year almost? How fed
I mean, it was the
everyone was on.
90s.
It was the
Yeah,
90s, but I want to say maybe it was the same. Anyways, I was kind of comparing these. I was like, holy crap, these are both cops
think
on a
it's-
relentless end to find the criminal.
James, I don't know how much you know about Point Break, but basically, like,
I only know that scene.
Keanu Reeves is an undercover cop, and he has to become a surfer, basically, because Patrick Swayze robs banks, and he has to join this crew and like take him down from the inside. And I think there's a lot of similarities that are totally valid about it, about the relationship between Keanu Reeves being the cop type figure and Patrick Swayze being the criminal. And it's different in the fact that they're not head to head the whole movie. They're only kind of head to head at the end because it's an undercover type thing.
Saying it Departed.
Departed. Yeah,
Departed.
yeah, that's kind of it's similar. I would say Heat is more similar, I guess, in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought about that comparison a lot, and there is a lot more. There's a lot more there than I originally. I kind of wrote it off at first. I was like, Point Break's kind of cheesy, kind of silly or whatever. Heat's like deadly serious, and so I was like, no, it's not really at all the same. But there are some fair similarities.
Yeah, one duo, they end up killing each other. The other duo, they end up killing each other. I don't know.
Yeah, pretty much. I want to talk about the big shootout real quick because we haven't talked about it yet.
Gotta talk about it.
I think this is the scene that people talk about most from this movie. It is the iconic moment of this movie. And during a bank heist with the full crew, they leave the building. And how does the first shot get fired?
Oh,
I
don't remember.
think someone from
Was it-
Pacino's crew sees them.
Was it from a cop? Like one of the cops on the ground?
Yeah.
Because I feel like I've been seeing a lot of bank heists, I have the one battle after another bank heist still stuck in my head from that scene. So I'm kind of...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, shots start getting fired, and
Ship goes loose. It goes crazy.
It is the most insane, loud, like, just... You've heard gunshots in movies, and then you hear Heat. Like,
Ooh,
it's on a completely different level of sound and just immersion in this. And something that I really loved about this scene is you really never lose sense of where people are in this. It's an extremely chaotic scene, and there's a lot going on and a lot of people there. But you really never lose sight of like where your people are. Where is Chris? Where is Neil? Where is like
telephone pole guy? Yeah, where that other guy was. The other compadre that was like the other friend that was really close with the group. He wasn't far behind.
Yeah, Tom Sizemore, Michael Chirito.
Michael Chirito. He's the one who had gotten he grabbed a hostage, and I thought it was so. This scene was so realistic for me because he grabs a little kid, right?
Kid.
Oh man, for me it was like, oh, these guys went from not killing anybody to then accidentally killing. Well, one of the guys killed the guard to then now they're taking hostages. Their plans going south. Like they're really losing their grip on what their organization was supposed to be. And I think that was just, it was so beautiful to watch. It was like, wow, look at these guys. They're going
Chris
down
takes
deep
the
end.
first shot.
Chris
is getting into
That makes sense.
Getting into the car and sees the LAPD guy come around the truck, and Chris goes, "Oh shit!" Drops the bag. Go.
It's pretty incredible. It
This
lived
is the
up
scene
to
that
its reputation.
It did. Yeah, this is the scene apparently that they teach LAPD officers, like they
Which is
show
crazy
it
to me.
or they teach them. Maybe it's like how to interact, like maybe movement style of what LAP like cops were doing, or like maybe decisions that some criminals could make. Like here's what it could be running off, you know.
I read something that like Val Kilmer like trained to make this like as realistic as possible when it comes to like reloading the weapon and stuff like that. But it seems movieified, I guess. Like,
yeah.
I mean, that would be it would be crazy to me if they actually showed this as some sort of informational thing.
Right? Yeah, maybe just like they start the presentation with that. That's the opener, and then they get into the real teaching. You know,
here's an average day of an LA cop. It's like when Den of Thieves. Like, have you guys seen Den of Thieves, the Gerard Butler movie?
Oh no,
great! I haven't seen it either, but it opens with a thing that's like, there are 18,000 banks in Los Angeles. 325 of them get robbed every single day. I'm like,
what the fuck?
Dude, I'm serious. The intro of Den of
crazy.
Thieves has like some crazy stat like that is just not
every
true
single
at
day. All. That'd be so effed, dude. No wonder my money's always gone. Damn. Okay.
Bank robbery opening statistic.
Den of Thieves. Yeah. I know. I want to see Den of Thieves statistic, right?
Here we go. Opening scene of Den of Thieves.
48 minutes.
Yeah, every 48 minutes a bank is robbed in LA.
Every 48 minutes. No effing way. Dude,
wait, what you know what's so funny is in this post they say none of this matches. Like 48 minutes, it does not equal 30 times
all that money,
a day, which does not equal 210 times.
It's
you gotta
so funny.
How many guys are actually in banks? Get on the ground, and then instantly shut down by the police or by a guard. It's like, no, buddy, you're not gonna do it today. You're not gonna do it.
That is so funny.
They fail. Someone's played too much GTA.
Kind of bringing this to a close, I wanted to ask you guys a little bit about, we've talked about this obsession. These characters are obsessed with this. But I think there's also a theme of like loneliness in this movie. I think all the characters are very
Male
lonely.
loneliness.
I mean, sure. Yeah. Male loneliness. An epidemic. But
it's an epidemic, yeah.
Everybody has their own, everybody's kind of doing it alone in this movie. Even though you have this crew of people that doing it together, they're all doing their own thing, really. They all have their own goals side of it. And I found that to be a point that I've thought about a lot in this movie. Do you guys have any thoughts on that?
I think yes for the protagonist, but I like not to come up with a counter. It popped up in my head because this scene really stuck with me. It was the greed of these guys, right? And like how they keep going. When De Niro proposed, "Hey, we're gonna do this last job. You might die." Chris and the other buddy, it was like for the Entrejo too. That other guy, he had a wife, but he was like, "Look, if I die, I want to die doing this," or like something like that. Like he's like, "I'm dying with you," and he was like, "Wow, I can't believe that these guys are so adamant on getting this stuff done. This one last job." But sorry, the loneliness. I think. Oh no, it's tough. I think
is prison the solution to male loneliness?
I think the real lonely character was Al Pacino. I think he was the lonely one.
I would agree. I think he's probably the loneliest one in the movie. Yeah.
Because who was on his crew? Didn't he have anybody on his crew that he was close with? No. I'm thinking of Point Break for some reason. I'm thinking of Gary Busey. I don't know why.
Yeah. The only person that I say isn't lonely is Chris, or maybe Chris's girlfriend. But even in Chris,
his wife.
It's his wife. Okay.
Yeah.
Bless you.
Thank you. Wait, there's another one coming.
Sneeze break.
Whew. But even I think Chris's relationship with his wife isolates him from
that's
the
a good
relationship. Because I think De Niro has like really leans in this camaraderie with these people because he talks to other.
Oh, and a third one.
another sneeze for audio listeners.
He talks with these people because like, oh, remember in Block D, like, oh, these guys were. I think for some, it like shines a light on some people forming dependence on their social network.
Yeah.
And building that in the prison system, and then they all get out of it and they go their separate directions, and the only like connective tissue they had was their previous, like, I don't know, life of crime or
Lives.
something. But
Yeah.
I'm
I
curious
think
to.
that's good.
not to say all criminals have a previous
Sure.
life of crime in that way, because justice system is fucked up and people get locked up for doing things they didn't do. But
I'm curious to
you
see
see the
like.
point of the movies kind of going at.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, you're
Michael
good. Go for
Michael
it.
Mann's other films and just like the through line with them, because I feel like maybe if you watch, like with any filmmaker, you see their films, you start getting the hint of where their beliefs lie, where their truth is, and it's like, oh, I wonder what it is. Because like he's done Public Enemies, he's done Miami Vice, a lot of crime,
He does a lot of one more job type of movies.
one more
like,
job type of movies.
Like, I love Thief. I think Thief is still my favorite Michael Mann movie.
Thief.
He did
Not
The
sure
Last of
this-
the Mohicans.
That's the Mohicans, one of the
Yes.
greatest movies ever, right? Apparently,
That's
Never
what
seen it.
some people say.
what they
Yeah.
say.
I-
So,
If you guys haven't seen Thief, highly recommend it. I love Thief.
I haven't seen it.
Very
I
good.
haven't
who
seen it.
stars in Thief?
James Caan.
Oh, he's
Oh,
young in
that
that
is.
one. Okay,
He is young.
this is an old film, huh? 81.
Who's James Caan?
Yeah, I highly recommend it. It's so good. The score, everything about it is incredible. He's a safecracker in it.
Oh, exciting! Ooh, I love that.
Also an LA heist.
Yeah,
type of
LA
movie.
heist movie. Yeah. Again, shooting films in LA, the nightlife. It's neo noir. It's the year is 1924. No, 1954.
We also have Heat 2. Do you guys know anything about Heat 2?
I hear that Leonardo DiCaprio is apparently going to play Robert De Niro, and Adam Driver is going to play Al Pacino. What do we think? What do we know? That's all I need to know. Is that going to happen?
Heat 2 is written. Michael Mann
Okay.
wrote a book and it's published. It's called Heat 2 and it's a prequel and a sequel to Heat. It jumps back and forth. And apparently, who signed on, to play a young Robert De Niro is Adam Driver, and playing a young
I think you got that
Chris.
flipped.
Sorry. Adam
Al
Driver is
Pacino.
playing a young
Yeah.
Robert De Niro.
No, Al
And-
Pacino.
Sorry, Adam Driver is a young Al Pacino.
No. Think about how he looks. Adam Driver's playing Al Pacino because he looks like De Niro.
No. I think, God, I don't think so.
Because I heard that Leonardo DiCaprio was going to be Bob De Niro. What's going on?
All right, you guys are pulling my
Wait,
chain
Adam
here. Hold on,
Driver
let me
is a
find
young Robert De Niro? That
No,
doesn't make
Robert,
sense.
I think he looks more like a young
He
Robert
looks
De
like-
Niro.
What? He looks
you
like
guys
more
are
like
killing me.
Pacino. Oh my god, that's crazy. Oh, I kind of see it. I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Adam Driver, young Neil. Okay, don't come at me. I
And
knew
we
what I
have
was
That's
talking about.
weird.
Jeremy
I don't know
Allen
about that.
White as a young Al Pacino.
Is that fan
Dude,
casting?
I'm sorry. That's just weird.
It's a rumor. It's just a rumor.
And then Austin Butler's playing a young Chris, which is pretty.
Oh, that's
pretty good.
perfect.
Oh,
Yeah.
That
that
is
works.
pretty
That's
good.
perfect.
But I mean, it's like fully in development, and Michael Mann is working on it. So I'm interested to see how it goes. I don't have like high hopes of like Heat 2 is going to be a masterpiece or anything like that. But
Does Jeremy Allen White
I will
look
be
like
there.
Al Pacino at all?
I don't know.
I can see
mean,
it. If they do sideburns in his hair, I get it. I get it. It's just not like exact. That's the thing.
Let's see.
It's tough to do exact, I know, but like, I just don't.
I don't know how the book is received. All I know is that I had it because I got it from like a thrift store or whatever
It's
for
a
like
book?
25 cents. Yeah, it's already
Yeah.
out. So the full story is available. And then Ali's dad was here and he's like, Heat 2. And he's a big Heat fan. Heat's like his favorite movie of all time. He's like, Heat 2, I didn't know this exists. He picked it up, he looked at it. Next time I saw him, he's like, I read it. It was amazing. Like, you got to read the book. And I'm
Wow.
like, okay, well, if a big Heat fan
People
likes it, I
say
guess I got to give it a go.
I'm looking at a Reddit thread right now, and they say that people enjoy it, but they like the original film a little better.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure.
All right. Well, question for the audience: do we want a Heat 2? Is this what we want? Could he cook?
Let him cook. Let him do his thing.
Let him
It's
cook.
Michael Mann. It's not like it's a different director coming on to do it. Like if he
Yeah,
wants
no,
to,
yeah, I
he
want-
wrote the story. He wants to direct it. I'm in. That's fine with me.
Yeah, I
love
can
it.
imagine. What's the latest thing that Michael Mann's done? I feel like there's something recent. that he did.
Ferrari.
Oh,
Ferrari.
Ferrari,
without a
which is
driver,
why he
which
likes
I was
Driver. Okay.
Kind of on a little bit.
Okay,
Okay,
that
is
makes
there anything
sense.
else you want to mention about Heat before we send this guy off?
I'm really glad I watched this movie. I'm really
too.
glad that we decided to talk about it because I think through talking about it, I understand it a little more. through
Yeah.
talking about these themes, I think I gained a deeper level of appreciation and understanding of what makes this film great. And for that, I'm always thankful to you guys in these spaces. And I'm really looking forward to expand that out to you, the audience, and your thoughts and opinions. What are those questions that we grappled with? Like,
Blow
what
my
is the
mind.
difference? Like, what are your thoughts on this being set LA?
Yeah.
Chat. Like, could the story have happened in New York in the same way? Chat. You know,
Chat.
why is that important? I'm excited to hear what other people have to say about if Neil should have gone back from Wangro or should he have left with Emily. Sorry, Edie, not Emily.
Blow my mind. Why won't you? Yeah, I mean, I'll echo that. I'm just very happy I saw this film. It's one of those that's on the list, just like Godfather, just like Goodfellas was. I'm happy to have checked it off. Thank you for the recommendation, and I hope we continue it.
You never seen Godfather?
I have
Have you
not
never seen Godfather?
seen any of the Godfather films.
Wow.
It's
That's
a
incredible.
cinephile sin, I know.
No,
but
it's not a sin. I don't think of it
You
as a
just
sin.
got uninvited from Vincent's wedding.
It's not a sin. It's just something to look forward to. You know,
I know.
That's all it is.
it's
That's
something
all
to
it
look
is.
forward to. I hear the second one's better than the first, but we'll see. But
I think so.
The only-
but I learned my lesson. I'm not going to hype it up right now. Like I
don't
said
hype
at the
it up.
beginning of this
Don't
episode.
hype it up. Because then I'm going to be
It's a good
disappointed.
film.
No, but you know what?
It's a good film.
Heat. I loved Heat.
I love
But what I
Heat.
don't love is the heat that's in
He
LA
was
right
hot.
now. That's all I have
Yeah.
to say.
Yeah, I'm super glad I finally watched it. I am bummed that I went into it with like too high expectations, I think.
Yeah.
That being said, I do feel like having conversations like this, though, makes me like it more. And that's
Yes.
important to me, too. I do love this movie. Don't get me wrong. I thought it was amazing, and I enjoyed so much about it.
What did we rate it on? I put it 9 out of 10. I put 9, y'all.
I gave it an 8,
Even an 8.
Maybe
but
an
I
8.
think I would bump it up after this. Like, I didn't write anything when I reviewed Heat because I knew that I wanted to talk about this before my like real review was in. So
Yeah,
I think I
I'd
could
sit
bump
at
it
a
up to a
9
9.
right now, y'all. I'm sitting at a
Yeah.
9.
it's pretty damn good, and I'm very excited to rewatch it too. I feel like I'll get even more out of it the next time I watch it.
Yeah.
I think I really enjoyed it, but I don't know if it really connected with me
Mm-hmm.
in the way a 9 out of it didn't really hit. Like, for it
Yeah.
to get to 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, it has to have me
Yeah.
jumping out of my seat with
Sure.
really getting struck. And I don't think it quite hit that for me. But
Makes sense.
Yeah. Incredible.
other De Niro movies do. Other Al Pacino movies do.
Okay. Well, thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Heat. I can't believe we did it. When this comes out, we have a lot of shorts content up on a lot of different platforms. And if you're not following us on social media, please do, because we're pretty active on there and we've been doing a lot of stuff. And if you're not in our Discord, get in there too. We're chatting in Discord about video games, movies, entertainment, all sorts of stuff, just hanging out. And that would be really appreciated. And if you kind of want to write into the next podcast, we always put what our movie is or game is a little bit early, so you have time to watch it before the movie or game, review or whatever comes out. And so to be part of that discussion with us. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you on the next one. Peace out, everybody.
Thanks, y'all.